Hi, welcome to the Black Experience Japan's Melanated Files. The purpose of this series is to highlight the black people living in Japan. Who are they?
My name is Ravi Budhooram and I'm from Augustown, Jamaica. I remember the first time I was at the Japanese embassy, I saw a thing about JET, and it was saying Jamaicans can work in Japan as teachers of English or sports coordinators or international relations coordinators, and I was like, here's a place I could go, because as a child I didn't travel a lot as a child, and so that was one of my aims when I was in high school and so on, that I wanted a job that would take me around the world or to other places or live in another country. So that was a dream of mine. So Japan was always in the back of my mind as a place to visit as there was an opportunity presented. So I've been here 6 years and a half. I came here in 2012. I'm an ALT. In a junior high school in Tochigi, and I just assist the Japanese teacher of English. That is, it's just a simple job, but it's very effective. One of the things I really love is the culture, the festivals. I love the culture of Japan. I like how there's always a festival at some time to celebrate either the harvest or anything for that matter that relates to history, because I love history in general. So the festivals to me take me back to history. So I really relish going to a festival, any Japanese festivals, yes. Well, let's see, it's not really much of a dislike per se. It's just I wish that Japanese were more outgoing in one way or the other. They tend to come off as very shy at times, and sometimes you have to be carrying a conversation, hoping, because I like to talk, I like to socialize, and the thing is, when I came here, I didn't know any Japanese, and the few words that I knew, I tried to use it, and people, first thing they saw me was, the first thing they would say, sorry, no English. And I'm like, no, it's okay, Japanese. And then they'll be like, I don't know, I don't understand. I'm like, am I saying the things correctly? And then I'll be like, okay, dare desu ka, nani kore? And they'll be like, because they felt they had that shyness. Yes, they had that shyness in like, I don't want to say too much Japanese. Then you'll go on to this conversation and then we meet at a standstill. Because that has happened before, but it's okay when that happens, we can work with it. But I used to hate when they'd be like, no English. So that was the thing. So I would go to Japanese class, study Japanese, and then when I tried to practice it outside, it would be very rough that time. So I wish they were a little bit more, outgoing. So in regards to Japanese treats, let's start with the sweets. I like Japanese mochi, the pounded rice cake. So that is like one of my favorites. Like I spend money on that anytime I see it. Like it will always get my money. In regards to food, like I've tried almost everything, and one of my favorites is the sukiyaki. That's their meat dish. It's like Japanese they like fish a lot, and I like the sushi and the sashimi, but number one would be the sukiyaki. The best life advice I've always received is this: don't turn away without testing the waters. And I've always lived my life like that. I don't make comments or assumptions based on I like to try things out. I like to try new things. With that has made me want to be adventurous. Try new things, be open to different experiences. One of the things that it has also helped me with is to also learn languages, So, it led me to a place that I can say, understanding, middle ground. I'm no longer the person I was before, where I would be like, oh yeah, that's how people are. But it's more to a place of understanding, in that you learn, you don't take things at face value, but you learn the reasons behind certain actions in such a case. So that has led me to this middle ground, I would say. Love always and have an open mind and smile as much as you can. What I've realized is that I smile and the world smiles back. My town actually gave me a nickname, and it's really interesting. It's Fukuwarai, and it's like the one who smiles. And so that has been like what the students believe I am. I'm either called Mr. Happy Laugh or the one who smiles. And so for me, that has been like more of, basically set the pace for how my experience is currently in Japan. Like I started to relish every opportunity to experience something new. And there are times where I've met people, usually apart from children, I've met elderly people where I'm actually the first black person they have ever actually met and spoke to and shook hands with, and so on. The first question people would say, are you from Africa? And I would say, well, even though I'm African descent, I am from Jamaica. And they were like, And they would actually believe that Jamaica is in Africa, and they'll be looking on a map of Africa, trying to find Jamaica. And they'll be, no, it's in the Caribbean. They'll be like, really? Yes, man, it's close to America there. And more so, the longer I've stayed, I've realized that actually many people do know where Jamaica is, but I've encountered a few who have actually, one, thought Jamaica was in Africa and will be asking me questions about where in Africa Jamaica is and about lions and all these things, but not as much as initially happened. And I'll tell you this, I've had encounters also with Japanese police, and it's very comical most of the times when we actually talk to each other. Like, we have always had good conversations. My very first experience in Japan, I'll tell you this, when I just came, like 2 weeks after ALT training, I was in a town and I missed my delivery, my luggages and all these things. And there was a police station right in front of my house there. And I went over to the policeman there and said, listen, can you help me out with this here? I don't know anything here, can you help me? And the man simply looks at me and says, okay, can you drive? I said, no, I don't have a car. He says, because this place is far. I was like, oh, I don't drive. So I said, okay, what's the number? And he called and he spoke to the person, and then and he says, go home, wait 15 minutes, you'll get your luggage and things. He said this in Japanese. I just kind of followed the gist that he was actually doing the conversation pertaining to my luggage. So I just kind of followed the gist, like, okay, yeah, boom. So it was, so that was like a good experience. Like, until this day, I still remember it because this was like 5 years ago, and it's still in my memory there, you know. So it's really awesome. And another experience that I've had is like when I just came here, even till this day, I still have a hard time figuring out train routes and so on. And everywhere that I've gone to, like, people have took their time, stop what they're doing, took their time to say, okay, where do you want to go? You want to go here, there, okay. Yes, ma'am, okay, this is the train you should take, go to that number, you know, go up to that stairs there and you'll be okay. So people have taken their time out to help me. Another instance I'll tell you, I remember when I just got a car and I decided to drive around places. And there were times I was lost. I didn't have my phone at that time, so there was no GPS. So, and I remember having to get a map and go out and ask people, okay, where am I? And they'd be like, yes, I don't know where I am. This is my first time here. And then be like, here, Coco, this guy. Like, so my experience has been very positive. Okay, the funniest thing, I'll give you this. I went to a sports festival, a soccer festival, and I remember there were Yochien kids, like probably nursery school kids. They were very young kids, you know. And I remember when they looked at me the first time and they were like, Nande Kroy deska, and some of them were rubbing my hands and looking and rubbing. And like, so it was pretty funny. And you know, they're children, so it was the first time I guess they saw someone black, and they were like, rubbing my face because I had a beard at the time as well. So they're rubbing my face and pulling it out. And I thought it was very funny how they were. And then there was this child who was eating a cookie. And the child took a small bite to the cookie and was like, and handed it to me. It was so funny. But it was good. It's like, it was the beauty of innocence, I would say. Okay, so they were like, why are you black? So I was like, but actually I never answered the question because I thought it was funny. I just kept on laughing, you know. You're black, you know. And they started to rub my hands. So they're like, why are you black? Why are you black? And I'm like, but it was so funny because this was like not one kid. This was like a bunch of them. This was like maybe 10 of them just coming around and looking up and like, why are you black? But another funny experience I'll tell you though. I was in a nearby town near to where I was. And there was this guy there, you know, I was in an izakaya. So it's like a bar, like. And the guy was there drinking. People said, oh, he's a guest, come give him some drink. And you know, everyone is there, they're buying you drinks and so on. And we were talking, and the guy's like, okay, in the English he was like, where are you from? And I was like, Jamaica. So he's like, you're from Jamaica? So he's like, wait, can you run fast? And I said, yes, of course I can run fast. He's like, really, come, let's have a race. No, the man is drunk. He's a grandfather. I don't know what he was, but he was a grandpa. He was like, you, assiste, hi, ne, Jamaica, you know, hi. Both, and he was doing the bold sign. I was like, so he wanted a race. So I said, okay, come, let's have a race, you know. So he was like, how fast can you run? I said, and I was like, QBO, like 9 seconds. And he's like, really? He's like, come, let's go. But then the funny thing, well, yes, it's funny now, but we felt for his health because when we went down and they set us off to run, he fell on his face as we started. So we were like, is he okay? Is he all right? So that was like, that tops the list there of funny things, you know. Well, the first thing I'll say, if you want to come, just come, you know. It'll be good to have some knowledge of the language, a little, like the basic things, you know. And, you know, look on the maps and so on, look at things that you probably want to see, read about it as well. The other thing is better prepare yourself. When I came here, I had no knowledge much of Japanese and so on. But as I said, come to Japan. It's like, I would encourage anyone to come here. Even stay here for a while. Like, it's worth the experience. You know, it's a beautiful country. You know, a lot of things to see, a lot of people, interesting people to talk to. You know, a lot of hospitality is also here. And then it's one of the places where you can experience certain traditions in its awesomeness, I would say. You know, so come, read up on the festivals, you know, read up on other things. You can look at pictures. It's a place worth visiting. Sadly, the only place you can find me is on Facebook. It's on Facebook. My name is Ravi Budhooram.
Anything else you'd like to share?
Yes, anyone like music? Yes, I also, well, one of the things I'm doing here, I realize that Japanese on a whole, and probably, yes, this is on a global space, they love Jamaican music. So that's one of the things I'm trying to import traditional Jamaican music as well here to Japan, like mento music and ska. Yes, I realize that in Japan, ska and reggae, they are very big genres of music, and dub music as well. So check that out as well on my page, Cold Stove Jamaican Music.
Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see weekly videos about the Black experience in Japan, feel free to subscribe to this channel. If you know someone that would like to be featured, or if you yourself would like to be featured, send us a message on our Facebook page at The Black Experience Japan, or send us a tweet on Twitter at TheBlackXJP. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.